All right, I got one more in me. One more vid. Oh, text. I'm in awe. This is Wolf Street. Wolf Richter. It's been a while, man. I know I read one the other day, but it's like I miss Wolf. Always keeping up with what's going on. The numbers, the fake news, the car fake numbers, all this stuff. Lending is all over it. And then the car stuff. Let's talk about that. Remember the little thing in Houston? Well, they had the flooding and the car thing was everyone's car just got destroyed. So there's going to be a huge demand for cars and car companies will be bailed out from the people who forcefully have to get new cars and or their insurance companies paying for it. Total losses, right? I'm in awe of how Carmageddon I got to. Def Leppard. Carmageddon it. Carmageddon it. Carmageddon it. Come on, Steve. Come on, Snip. I'm in awe of how Carmageddon continues in Houston at financial crisis levels. Where the heck is the hyped replacement demand from Hurricane Harvey? Auto dealers in the Houston metro sold 23,720 new vehicles in May, down 9.2% from the dismal oil bust levels of May last year, with car sales plunging 17.6%, and with even truck sales, SUVs, pickups, vans, and compact SUVs, also known as crossovers, dropping 4.9%. Even used vehicle sales plunged 13.5% in May from a year ago to 67,239 vehicles. This is not a propitious indication. If there had been a shift from new to used, it would have been a different scenario. But both declined. Auto sales in the Houston metro were battered by the oil bust. Between late 2016 and mid-2017, new vehicle sales plunged by 20 to 30% a month compared to the same month a year earlier, to levels not seen since the financial crisis. I love that word. Fill in anything. Since the last recession. Since the last financial... That means it's a very telling sign. We haven't seen this since... What does that mean? It means maybe it's time for part 2 of that recession, if you will. Auto sales in Houston metro were battered by the oil bust between late 2016 and mid 2017. Whatever, I got that. I'm trying to figure where I left off. To levels not seen since the financial crisis. Then, just as the effects of the oil bust were bottoming out and hopes were lining up that this would end Carmageddon in Houston, Hurricane Harvey slammed into the area. It shut down all its dealers for days, and some of them for weeks, and new vehicle sales collapsed, down 45% year over year in August from the oil bust levels a year earlier. But instantly, stories cropped up on Wall Street that the replacement demand from Hurricane Harvey would cause a boom of indescribable proportions in auto sales in the Houston area that would be so large as to fire up the declining auto sales in the U.S. overall. And by the way, he was covering this, and I was therefore covering it too, because I remember talking about it, doing videos. Oh yeah, they say this, they're going to recover all these underwater vehicles. It's going to help pull the numbers up. Wow, it actually didn't happen. And in Houston, though not the rest of the nation, auto sales did rise for a few months, but not nearly as much as promised. So in other words, that was it. Little fuzz, flamed out. Okay, little spark. Auto sales did rise for a few months, but not nearly as much as promised, before starting to peter out again late last year. And now, Carmageddon is back. The Houston situation has been fascinating to observe, in part because there is good and timely vehicle sales data available, gathered by the Houston Auto Dealer Association from its member dealers, put together by Tex AutoFacts, published by InfoNation via the Greater Houston Partnership. Few other metro areas offer this kind of granular data. For the rolling 12-month period ending in May, dealers sold 295,373 vehicles, up only 1.5% compared to the oil bust levels a year earlier, but down 22% from the happier era before the oil bust. Little chart, doesn't matter. You don't even need to see it, trust me. Year to date, total sales are up 4.2% from the oil bust levels last year, with car sales down 7.3% and truck sales up 10.1%. but this includes the tail end of the infamous replacement demand earlier this year that has now completely disappeared. Sales of trucks, that is SUVs, pickups, vans, and crossovers, accounted for 70% of total new vehicle sales, retail sales, in May, as cars are simply dying out in Texas even faster than the U.S. overall. Despite dismal unit sales, prices continue to rise. It kind of reminds me when everybody was walking from their condo. All these people paying the HOA, whatever fee, they are no longer pitching in. Those of you morons who stayed, you're going to now foot the bill. $100 a month HOA turns to $150 HOA, turns to $200 HOA, turns to $250. Whoa! I can't afford that. Well, we reserve the right as the HOA to cover all expenses. We're not going to tell you in writing that half your effing people moved out and you idiots stayed. But I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. I'm paying my bill. Right. And you're going to now pay $250 a month instead of $100 extra. Yeah, that's how that actually went. Despite dismal unit sales, prices continue to rise. The average retail transaction price rose 2.2% to $37,258, largely due to truck transactions, where the average transaction price reached nearly $40,000 compared to the average transaction price of cars at $31,090. This dismal scenario in auto sales is not reflected in the overall economy in Houston, though it remains spotty. Some sectors are still getting crushed from the oil bust, including commercial construction, where activity has collapsed. Year-to-date, non-residential building contracts, measured in dollars, have plunged 32% from the already terrible levels last year, but residential permits have surged 29%, and the total is down by only 2.1% now. Total employment rose 2.4% year-to-date through May, with employment in the goods-producing sector rising 3.7%, and in the sector, as in service sector, 2.2%. And the unemployment rate in May declined to 4.2% from 4.8% just a year earlier. So the continued crisis-level new vehicle sales in the Houston metro area, still down by over 20% from their range before the oil bust, are in contradiction of other economic data in the area. Everything's good. Everything's fine. This is America. And this is America? I thought it was America. Everything's fine. Great unemployment numbers. Great jobless numbers. Great everything. What about those car sales? Well, did the government provide those numbers? No, an actual private company did. Oh, so they're actually real. Yeah, exactly. And they suck. We printed, remember the movie Elf? Did you see the numbers? No, I think they're here later today. No, they're in. The book you wrote, it tanked. We're down -3. -3! That's what the private. What, you up 3%? No, we're down -3. Elf, baby, Elf. 71 degrees. Miles Finch. Jason at 4. You ever have one of those ideas that you're just psyched out of your mind? That's just like, yes! That movie is like my new favorite Christmas story. Remember the Christmas story, little Ralphie and his BB gun? That'll never, ever get old being a classic. But Elf is like my new kind of Christmas story go-to now. Even though it was from 2003. And yes, I've said this, I'll just remind her. The kid from the Christmas story, Ralphie, is in Elf in the beginning. He's one of the little elves at the table, and he's like, hey, Ming, how many extra sketches have you done? Oh, 900. Okay, good. Hey, buddy, how many extra sketches have you done? Come on, buddy. How many? 149. Oh, that puts you 797 behind schedule. That guy is the kid from Christmas Story. He plays a little role there, which is interesting. You can actually see it in his eyes when you look at him. Oh, that's his face. It's him. So, anyways, a little off topic there, but we're gonna be in trouble. And then we got these trade wars, tariffs, tit for a tat. China now. China says, normally you slap across the face, you turn the other cheek, but not now with America. I was thinking of maybe I should do a video on that. It's fine. We already know what's happening with that. Gerald Celente, Was it currency wars, trade wars, real wars, or maybe it was trade wars, currency wars, real wars, one or the other. Funny to see this stuff kind of playing out. We ain't had no real war yet, but the currency wars are now here. The question is, was it currency wars, then trade wars, or trade wars, then currency wars? I said currency wars are here. I mean trade wars are here. Again, with all that nonsense, wouldn't it be nice to not have any debt? Cars paid off, or again, at the very least with crypto, maybe you can't pay off the house. Maybe you just didn't get enough to pay off the house at the time. But I paid off the car, and I paid off that, and I paid off that. Sure makes things easier. And that's why I'm so adamant about those things. I really think it's going to save a bunch of us. Take care.